Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Judge Ronald B. Adrian, Administrative and Presiding Judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court. It is my responsibility to inform those of you who are scheduled to appear before the court of your basic rights and of the basic procedures that the court will follow in handling your case or cases today. Please listen carefully, as each of these rights could be critical to the outcome of your situation. In this courtroom today, the court will accept the pleas of those of you who have been charged with criminal and/or traffic offenses within the city of Cleveland. There are three possible pleas that you might make. The first is not guilty, which is a complete denial of the charges. The second is guilty, which is a complete admission of your guilt. The third is no contest, which is not an admission of guilt, but is an admission of the truth of the facts that are contained in the complaint. The importance of the no contest plea, then, is that it cannot be used against you in any subsequent civil or criminal proceeding. If you choose to enter either a guilty or a no contest plea today, the judicial officer who hears your case will dispose of the matter by imposing a fine and court costs upon you. If you choose to enter a not guilty plea, your case will be randomly assigned to one of the 13 judges of the Cleveland Municipal Court for further proceedings. You will then be assigned another court date to appear before the judge to whom your case is assigned for those further proceedings to take place. It is the court's responsibility to inform every person charged with an offense that they are entitled to certain rights. Therefore, each of you who are so charged are hereby informed that you have the following substantive rights. You have the right to know and to understand the charge or charges that have been brought against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent and to require that the prosecution, with its evidence alone, prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of the charges that have been brought against you. You cannot be required to prove that you are not guilty. You have the right to a trial by jury in all but minor misdemeanor cases, which must be tried to the court without a jury. Even if you are entitled to a jury trial, however, you still must demand that trial within the time set forth in the rules, or you will lose that right. However, even if you lose your right to a jury trial, you are not stripped of your right to have a trial entirely. You can still have a trial. It's just that your trial would be heard by the judicial officer to whom your case is assigned. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer throughout these proceedings, even if you intend to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. You have the right to have the court appoint a lawyer to your case only in those instances where there is a possibility that you could go to jail and you can establish that you do not have the money to hire a lawyer to represent you. You have the right to confront the witnesses against you and to have those witnesses cross-examined. You have the right to call witnesses who can testify favorably to you, if there are such witnesses, and to demand that those witnesses come forward and give their testimony on your behalf, even if they are reluctant to do so, by issuing a subpoena that would require their attendance and their testimony here in open court. You have the right to testify on your own behalf. You have the right to remain silent and to exercise your constitutional right against self-incrimination. Should you choose to exercise that right, then no one, including the court or the prosecuting attorney, may comment upon your decision to do so. Anything that you do say, however, can be used against you. Finally, you have the right to bail. Additionally, you are hereby informed that any conviction of a moving traffic violation will result in a record of your conviction being sent to the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles and will add administrative points to your driving record. If you are not a citizen of the United States, you are also informed that a conviction of an offense or offenses to which you offer a plea of no contest or guilty may have the consequences of deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. These rights belong to every defendant who appears before this court and will be protected by this court on today's date. When your name is called, please step forward and stand before the bench. The judicial officer will review with you the nature of the charge or charges against you and ask that you enter one of the pleas mentioned earlier in this announcement. Should you decide to enter either a guilty or a no contest plea, you will also be informed of the maximum sanctions associated with that plea should it be accepted by the court. It is the order of this court that there shall be no talking in the courtroom during this session. Your failure to abide by this order may cause you to be found in contempt of court. Should that occur, You could be fined up to $250 in additional penalties, assessed additional court costs, and or sentenced up to 30 additional days in jail over and above any other sanction that might be placed on you for the underlying matter that first brought you to court. It is also ordered that all cell phones and pagers be silenced or turned off. Any device that disrupts these proceedings after the conclusion of this announcement may cause its owner to be found in contempt of court and sanctioned accordingly. Additionally, the device may be taken from its owner and not returned. Thank you for your attention and your cooperation. Despite the volume of business scheduled for hearing today, we will make every effort to move the docket as rapidly as we possibly can, consistent with the ends of justice. We will now begin with court.